Who loves Derek Lewis more than Jailton Almeida? No one does. He laid on him for 5 rounds. And yes, we are back here. My name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of your screen. He's reaching at your face right now, but this is the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. And it's a special week, D Rose. UFC 295, Madison Square Garden. We are going to talk about it, give everyone our picks, opinions, predictions, all that. But before we do have to unfortunately recap the Sao Paulo event as quickly as possible, because if I'm going to be honest,
did we have to?
If I'm going to be honest, dude, that card we're not far enough in the episode yet. That card was bad, dude. That was a bad card. Didn't go my way, but we'll talk about it just a little bit. We do have a lot of UFC fight news and announcements to get into, but at the end of the show, we will give you our picks, predictions, if we have any parlays, the props we're going to be looking out for, the bets we are going to make this weekend for UFC 295, Jiri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira, taking place in Madison Square Garden, New York City, the Mecca, if you will. But before we get into all that, where would we be if we didn't shout out the people that keep us coming back here every single week? And up first, we got the guy, another Golden Wednesdays with the boys, Lush Lomain. Dude, I pinned Lush's comment earlier in here, dude. The comment that Lush had earlier in here, Lush, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like, I've been so ready for this weekend. I've been screaming at every tree I've been walking by. like I pinned it, but it's gone. I don't know where it went. It was just a little bit longer than I guess YouTube wanted to leave it up there. We got Austin in here. Tough day at work. Looking forward to some good old Matt D. Rose Painter. Hell yeah, brother. Appreciate you stopping by, Austin, like you do every week, brother. Truly.
Yes,
and
sir.
Then Jim Card collecting in here. The Dream Team, Matt and D. Rose. Appreciate you stopping by,
yes,
man.
Sir.
And then any second now, indeed, we are live, Lush. And Gary Fusi, Nicholas Dalby, baby. I believe was Gary the one in here last week that said he was gonna fraud check Bonfim? We're like, I don't know, and sure enough, dude, yeah, but I don't want to spend too much time on it before we actually get into it. But yeah, we are caught up on the chat. I believe that's all I got right now, at least. If you guys pop in here, it's all good. But we are gonna go ahead and recap UFC Sao Paulo, dude. Were you able to hear me when the countdown was going on, or no? Because I'm not sure if it like mutes me.
Yeah.
All right.
The Derek Lewis lane.
Yeah, dude. That's pretty much the recap of the fight, though, dude. Jailton Almeida laid on Derek Lewis, dude, for 5 rounds. I think the issue is his arms weren't long enough to get around Derek Lewis's neck, so he couldn't choke him. So he was kind of resulted to just sitting on top of him, and at one point got up from mount, was standing over him, trying to throw a few punches, dude. And Derek Lewis just laying on the ground. He just went into Brazil and laid in the octagon for a payday, dude. Didn't get finished, but dude, Derek Lewis now part of 2 of the most boring fights in UFC history that we didn't expect, dude. Give me your thoughts on the main event, man.
I think the biggest takeaway is that I was sick that I did not place that fight to go to decision, because it was plus 1,200, and it would have just been, I'm like the decision seeker when it comes to betting. So I'm always like, dude, this fight to go to decision for sure. Round 3 or decision, I'm always that guy. So it's like, why would I not at least throw a couple bones at plus 1,200 just for the weird thought that something like that could have happened? I guess it was just because we didn't imagine it, because we figured that Jailton would have been able to have submitted Derek Lewis. It looked like Derek Lewis is honestly like well trained for a lot of the submissions and stuff, but Jailson just wasn't throwing any ground and pound either. Like, if you kind of look at Mackenzie Dern, early on in her UFC career, when she would get, when she would get into a dominant position on the ground, she wasn't really throwing a lot of ground and pound with it, and that's how people were able to either reverse position, get sweeps, or whatever the case may be. And then you look at what she did to Angela Hill in her last fight. She really used that ground and pound. I think just Jailton just did not use any ground and pound whatsoever. Just was comfortable with dominating, just sitting in full mount. And I think that might be the fight where someone has been in full mount the longest and had never, even gotten close to threatening a finish by any means. And I will say there at the third round, just that one rush from Derek Lewis, when Jailton fell on his back and Derek Lewis started throwing them bombs, I was like, it's over. I was like, it is over. Like I said, he is going to land a bomb and put Jailton out. He landed a clean left one, and I thought Jailton was going to go out, but credit to Jailton that, his shin was able to withstand it. But I was definitely rooting. I was like, let's go, baby, knock him out. But unfortunately, Derek Lewis couldn't do it.
Yeah, dude. It is what it is. As I said, it sucked, dude. We're over 5 minutes in now, dude. That was an ass card. It was, dude. I was looking forward to that card, but by the time this fight happened, I was already disappointed, dude. So I couldn't have been any more disappointed. But the reason why I was disappointed though was in the co-main event, Gabriel Bonfim versus Nicholas Dalby, dude. Have you ever seen the movie Liar Liar, dude? With
I have not.
Like Jim Carrey.
It's
like
no,
he's a lawyer and he has a kid, but he's like always lying because as a lawyer, that's his like job anyway. But then his kid like kind of wishes that he can't lie, and so as a lawyer, he can't lie. So he's actually on the stand telling the truth. I don't know. It's from the 90s, dude. Jim Carrey, Liar Liar, dude. But there's this one part in the movie where he can't lie, so he goes into the bathroom and he just starts beating the shit out of himself, like smashing his head like in the toilet lid, like punching himself in the face, dude. And that's truly how I felt after the co-main event, dude. And like this dude just walks in on him. He's like, "Hey man, is everything all right? What's happening?" He goes, "I'm kicking my own ass." It's a hilarious clip. I wish I would have like clipped it out so I can put it in here. But that's how I felt, dude, because I had the option. Dude, I had an 11 leg in still. So every fight of the night, I had an 11 leg still in all the way up until the co-main event. And in every parlay, I had either Gabriel Bonfim winning straight up or Gabriel Bonfim round 1, round 2, Gabriel Bonfim via finish. So needless to say, I was confident because like the cash outs on a few of them were like 80, like 25. But my biggest cash out, and I sent it to D Rose, I could have cashed out for $289 or let it ride. It was the last leg on the parlay to win $590. So I was basically put $300 on Gabriel Bonfim to finish Nicholas Dalby in the first 2 rounds to win $600. And I was like, it's probably going to happen. I've been right all night. Here it comes. I'll have to cash this. And D Rose was like, man, I would cash it out before that. I didn't listen. I let it ride. And Nicholas Dalby finishes Gabriel Bonfim in the second round, dude. So I literally do feel like that scene from Liar Liar, Jim Carrey, just wanted to beat the shit out of myself, dude. Just feel like an idiot, dude. But, that's the risk, I cashed out the one time before Grant Dawson got snoozed, felt good about it. I guess I was willing to risk $300 this past weekend on Gabriel Bonfim. Don't feel good about it now because I've really wish I had the money this week because I've been broke this week, dude. I don't know what happened. But my birthday is tomorrow, so hopefully something good can come my way. What's your thoughts on the co-main event, dude?
Well, the worst part was that that whole time I was watching as Gabriel Bonfim was just kind of just melting in there. I just had you in my mind the whole time because I was like, dude, there's no way. Right now. Yeah, I was like, dude, I know his face is as red as a damn stop sign right now because he is pissed about Gabriel Bonfim because, yeah, as you said, we were talking about it, and I said, man, I'd probably cash if you're on that last leg. I said, just in case, you almost got $300. Shit, that's a win to me.
And the worst part is I had 3 or 4 other ones that would have covered, even if I didn't. But I was confident that he was going to get it done, dude.
Yeah. But as you said, was it Gary in the comments that said that Nick Dalby was going to fraud check him, and yeah, that's exactly what Dalby did. Dalby, really put the pressure on him there in the second round, and again, looking like a more Santa Claus or something like that, just breathing down Bonfim's face, but did not let up on the pressure. And when Bonfim was backed up against the fence, was like throwing those like big hooks, but couldn't get Dalby away from him. I was like, oh yeah, this is just about over. And then once he got him with that knee, that was just, it was all she wrote. It was a beautiful performance from Dalby. It really was. Hey, I talked a lot of smack about him too. Hey, I kept saying, hey, he's not that good, blah blah blah. Even if Bonfim's not that good, Dalby's really not that good. So that's what I kind of waited on. So no, I ate a little bit of crow as well for saying that I didn't think he was that good. But man, he showed up in enemy territory.
And I said it last week, dude. I'm usually on Nick Dalby because like maybe I see something in him that no one else does. But dude, I just thought the buzzsaw that was Gabriel Bonfim was just too much, dude. I guess not. The old vet taught him a lesson. But here it is. Allegedly, man, I've been channeling my inner Jiri Prochazka all week by screaming at every tree I walk by. That's what it was. I tried to pin it earlier, or I did pin it earlier, but it disappeared. I actually saw that and I died laughing. Gary saying Lewis looked as if he didn't mind Jelton take him out, just didn't let him take it without defending. Yeah. Let's see here. Jelton was the least impressive of the whole card. And that's sad to say because it was complete domination too. But, man, it's just like that ain't the way to get a title shot. That's for sure. That's like Corey Sandhagen wanting a title shot after doing what happened like in his fight against like Rob Fine. It's like, you dominate him, but God, that was boring, So it's like it is what it is. Almeida got booed in the 5th round in Brazil, and that's kind of wild, dude. Pavlovich versus Aspinall feels like King Kong got like Godzilla, dude. I cannot wait for this weekend, and I'm excited to talk about it. That was the first time I've ever seen Bonfim fight. I can't take credit for someone's comment. Okay, so that wasn't Gary. Then Bonfim has talent, but Dalby had too much heart. Yeah, dude, just a vet in the game. And they should have stood them up, dude. It's just hard to stand someone up from mount, dude. But Mark Goddard told him to work so many times from mount. And that was one thing that I just took away from the fight. It's like you're being told to work and you got him mounted, dude. That's like, aside from back, like sunk in a rear naked choke, that's like the most dominant position you can have them in, dude. You shouldn't be getting told to work from there. It's absolutely nuts. But hey, dude, the Black Beast, 2 of the most boring fights of all time now.
Derek Lewis was just content with it though. Like, as I said earlier, he was content as long as there was really no threat of the ground and pound, and Almeida wasn't doing it. So Derek Lewis is like, okay, I'll come in short notice. I'm probably getting paid pretty decently. So, yeah, I'll come in, not take too much damage, fly home, get a nice little check here. And I ain't losing no stock because I think everybody's more mad at Almeida more so than kind of down on Derek Lewis because, let's face it, Almeida really should have finished him.
Yeah, for the most part, dude. But let's get this out of the way because I was about to forget. We did have 3 different picks this past weekend. They were Victor Hugo versus Daniel Marcos. That fight did fall off. So, we only had 2 different picks. And our 2 different picks were Vitor Petrino versus Modestas Bukauskas. And our second different pick was Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos taking on Renat Fakhretdinov. And that fight ended up going to a draw where I went D Rose went Renat Fakhretdinov. I went Zaleski, dude. But any other place, dude, that fight, he may have finished Renat in that third round, dude. He dropped him to the body and was landing some ground and pound on there, dude. That could have been stopped if it was a different ref, dude. But so it is what it is. So the only fight that actually matters was Vitor Petrino versus Modestas Bukauskas. I was on Vitor Petrino. D Rose was on Modestas Bukauskas, and Vitor Petrino snoozes Modestas Bukauskas maybe a little bit early, but I mean he dropped him flat, dude. It is what it is. I don't think he needed to take any follow-up shots. So that means I am and still a lot of weeks in a row now, dude. Getting my roll going, dude. Call me butter, baby. I'm just keep on having it over here, and you ain't getting it back at this point. With that being said, D Rose, anything else on the Sao Paulo card you want to talk about, dude? Because that's really the only things I had.
Yeah, no. After the other fights had like fallen off as well, as you said, it really wasn't a. You had the Vitor Petrino finish. You had a couple of finishes on the prelims, but for the most part, it wasn't as up to the hype as it was built up to be going into the card. So it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah. So in that case, why don't we move on to UFC news and fight announcements, dude? We got through this whole past week's card in about 15 minutes, so I am not mad at that this week. But yeah, Adrian Yanez out of knee surgery. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick with y'all. Let's see here.
Oh wow, I didn't realize they had actual surgery.
Yeah, he had knee surgery, I think today, to be honest. Let me see. Present, share screen. There it goes. Man, I could not. There we go. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Yeah, so Adrian Yanez, had knee surgery today.
Damn.
Looks like he recovered. But yeah, after that Jonathan Martinez fight, that was an odd one. Yeah,
that's brutal. Did Martinez do that to him, or was that something that was affecting him going into it? Or
I'm pretty sure, dude.
Wow.
Let me stop sharing this for just a second so I can get it to load, because I'm trying to get our UFC news pulled up for this week. But I think because I'm sharing, it's taking a year to load.
That was just crazy to see, because man, if that was from the cause of his leg kick, goodness gracious. I mean,
dude, but he was kicking his leg hard though, dude.
Yeah. That's why it's like, dude, you just wouldn't even think to. I know that it's not as easy to say to switch stance, but dude, if you can't check it, you can't switch stance. Like just quit letting that leg get kicked as many times as it was. And I love Adrian Yanez, but unfortunately, it was brutal, man.
Yeah, dude. All right, here we go. Finally got it. Gee whiz, dude. So the fight that everyone wanted for the vacant bantamweight title fight, dude.
Let's go.
Women's 135, the one everyone asked for. We got Rocky Pennington taking on Mayra Bueno Silva. I guess give me your thoughts on it, dude.
Fresh off of USADA suspension.
Yeah,
Mayra Bueno Silva defeated USADA and Holly Holm. I mean, that's that's pretty bulletproof if you're asking me for Mayra Bueno Silva. But for me, for the fight in total, I mean, unfortunately, it's not a good fight. I know I've been using that word a lot, but yeah, I mean, it's not the fight that everybody's wanted. And I guess to be fair, this division is in such a tough spot right now, especially with Nunes, kind of dropping the belt, because at least you had a steady champion for somebody to challenge, versus Rocky Pennington and Mayra Bueno Silva. It just doesn't seem like it's the legit title fight that it should be for the division. And I know Juliana Pena is hurt, so this is why it's happening. But man, this is and I love Rocky, but I don't know how Mayra Bueno Silva is getting a title shot coming off the suspension, man. That's dude, it's crazy. But I mean, I guess did they excuse it or anything? Like, I was just confused about that.
I didn't hear your question. I was
Did they excuse Myra Buena Silva's suspension or something like that? Because when
I think it was for 6 months, dude. And by the time this
and
fight
what was it, like,
happened,
proactive or something?
yeah. So when the fight happened, so 6 months from then. So I guess January. That's about when she fought last. Was like July, right?
Something like that. Yeah,
So,
somewhere around in that range.
yeah. So that
August,
makes
maybe.
sense. But yeah, dude, that's gonna be co-main event in January, dude. Toronto keeps getting or is this in Toronto? I know Canada keeps getting
I
kind
think
of
it's rumored.
shafted. Canada keeps getting shafted with these like the women's title fights, yeah.
Hey, with that main event,
Yeah.
that's gonna be the one.
We'll get into it though. December 16th though, D Rose, we got Andre Touchy Feely taking on Lucas Almeida, UFC 296. Care about that one at all?
Yeah, that should be a good fight. Lucas Almeida normally brings a fight, and we know how touchy feely is. He's scrappy, so that should be a good fight.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And then all the results from this past weekend. DeCasey doing his thing. Eduardo Mora just absolutely demolished Conejo. Yeah. Angie Hill, shuts down the young Brazilian and Denise Gomes. We had.
Hey, I counted Angie Hill out. That's another one from this past weekend that I can say we didn't really talk about. But hey, I counted Angie Hill out, and that was a good performance from her. So yeah, I was glad to actually see her get that dub. Just her being the cagey vet she is.
Dude, how was the Elvis Brenner snoozing the new guy? Yeah, dude,
Elvis Brenner's starting to.
I thought he died, dude. I was like, he might be dead.
Dude, Elvis Brenner's getting a little bit of stock now. Just with getting a couple of highlight reel finishes like that, dude. He's definitely going to get the fans behind him.
For sure, dude. And trained that shoot to box Diego Lima. So,
dude, does he not fight like Charles Oliveira?
Yeah,
like
dude.
very, very simple. Not the exact version of Charles, but just in terms of that style, just going forward, swinging them hooks. But those dudes, they just have a nasty, just a grit to them when they fight, and I love it, man.
Yeah, man. We've got kind of a banger, dude. Two kind of UFC prospects here. We've got Farid Basharat taking on Taylor Lapilus, dude. Paris was behind Taylor Lapilus, and his fight wasn't even that good, dude. So he has a lot of support over there. This is going to be January 13th, UFC Vegas 83, though. What's your thoughts on this?
I mean, it should be a solid fight, but we know how it is with the Basharat bros. I mean, the Bonfim bros. I think it's fair to say that they kind of got both of them really kind of got fraud checked here recently. But I think for the Basharat bros, I think they've kind of really shown that they really got skill and they're both kind of the real deal. And I think for Farid, he's a beast. That he was another one that his fight's going to go to a decision, and he ended up getting a submission in his last fight. So showing his well-roundedness, and I think he'll probably end up dusting dude off too. All
right, fair enough. That's going to be a scrap though, for sure. We've got, dude. I know the fight that you wanted, dude. Dricus du Plessis gets his title shot January 20th. This is going to be in Canada, dude. Sean Strickland didn't want to fight in Canada, as his tweet said that I sent you, dude. But it is what it is. I know you really want this fight. Personally, I got Dricus winning here. I don't really like Sean Strickland, but, it is what it is. What's your thoughts happening here, brother?
Yeah, this is the fight that I wanted. This is the fight that, should have been happening instead of Hamzat really being rumored. I was going to be upset had Hamzat really gotten that title fight, but I think for this fight, the reason why I'm so interested in, I think it's just more like the clash of styles where, Sean's got that, Philly shell type, boxing type style where Dricus has that kind of, he comes out in quick burst and he does like the Dricus rush where he's almost doing like this just bum rush of like hooks and stuff like that. So Sean with his defense, he's very flat-footed. I'm curious to see how he'll kind of try to offset Dricus's blitzes every once in a while. And is Drake is going to utilize his wrestling a little bit more like he did against Robert Whittaker. And I mean, when he uses ground and pound against Robert Whittaker, I mean, he busted Robert Whittaker up pretty good. So I do favor Drake going into the fight, but hey, Sean Strickland, he's shocked the world before, so he's very capable of doing it in this one too.
Hell yeah, dude. Jay Wolf in here. Hey, sorry I'm late, gents. How's y'all's week going? We appreciate you stopping by, Jay Wolf. My week's going all right, you know. Turned a mean 31 years old tomorrow, so I guess I'm looking forward to that. Not really, but you know, tomorrow's Thursday. One more week till the fights, and I'm going to be making a trip across the state this week because I'm going to be watching UFC 295 with D Rose this weekend live with all of you right here on the Golden Octagon. So I am truly just excited for the rest of the week for the most part. We got Natty Beast Cat. I appreciate it, brother. I truly do appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, dude, I'm interested to see what happens here, but I am going Dricus earlier. I think it might look like the Robert Whittaker fight. Up next, though, we've got one that I'm truly excited for. The Sugar Show returns against Marlon and Chito Vera for their second fight, dude. So number 2, UFC 299 in March. I've heard 2 locations for this so far. So far I've heard Boston and I've heard Miami were the 2 places that like they were trying to get for this fight, dude. Man, that would be sick to go to be honest. But I'm sure tickets are going to be absolutely nuts for that. To be honest,
atrocious.
Yeah, but I'm excited for it, dude. I guess off the jump, I gotta go the Sugar Show via decision, just because Cheeto's tough as all hell. So over the 5 rounds, give me Sugar Sean O'Malley to win this fight via decision. Which way you going here, early, brother?
I mean, I'm definitely leaning towards Sean early, but again, I mean, we know what happened in the first fight, and I mean, Cheeto. If there's one thing that we know about him, is that 5-round piece, that's nothing for him to go. Where Sean, he has not gone the 5-round distance before, so that's another thing that I'm interested to see as well. If he's not able to get the finish early against Marlon, is he going to fatigue there as the fight goes? And yeah, I think you know, style-wise, obviously they match up very well. So yeah, there's a lot of intrigue, man. I really like the fight.
Hell yeah. Yeah, my birthday's on the 13th. So you're just a few days behind me, brother. Yeah. I like to tell everyone that our you know, everything probably happened at Valentine's Day. That's where we all started. Sugar round 2 knockout. That's the way Lush going. That'd be sick, brother. I'd be happy as hell. I wouldn't complain at all. I'll probably have a few bets on just some shit like that happening because let's go Sugar Show. But yeah, dude, here we go. We got another one. We've got Ilya Topuria taking on Alexander Volkanovski, dude. This was scheduled for Toronto, but me and you have been talking a little bit before this. They're going to push it back 1 month, dude, to February. UFC 298, dude. Me and you have been talking about this. It's not enough time for Volk to recover, in our opinions, dude. Ilya hits like a fucking truck, probably the hardest at 145, dude. Harder than Jeremy Stevens hit, to be honest. But yeah, dude, I gotta go Ilya off the jump. Clearly might have a size advantage on Volk, to be honest, and his head even looks bigger, which is crazy to say because Volk's like a bobblehead. I guess let the people know which way you're leaning early on this one, brother.
I think, you know, just coming off the last result, you'd have to. You want to lean towards Topuria, but you know, you just the championship medal that, you know, that Volkanovski does have, and I think that, you know, he wants to turn around quick for a reason. He wants to wash his Islam result away as quick as he can. I think, you know, he was so devastated by the loss, which another reason why would you take that fight against Islam on that short of notice if you know that's a big legacy fight for you. But anyway, yeah, he wants to stay busy to try to wash that away. So he's going to have a lot of motivation to right the wrong from the Islam loss and could potentially take it out on Ilya. So, man, I'm not going to lie. I know we've kind of talked and I've leaned towards Ilya, but the more I think about it in my head, man, it's just, I don't know. I don't know where Volkanovski's going to be at. Is he on the downslide now? Is he still kind of at that prime, but he just ran into Islam because, his only losses are to Islam, so in the UFC. So, I mean, in his upper weight class, he's undefeated at 145. So I'm up in the air still, man.
Interesting. Interesting. Free the comms going, rooting for Ilya because it's Holloway's best shot to get the strap back. Wow.
Very well could be. If Volkanovski's about to be out the door, I mean, if you think about it, Max is still, 31, 32 or something like that? So, dude, if Volkanovski, 35 years old, if he ends up getting knocked out and he's going out the door, I mean, Max could, backdoor his way into a title shot. As crazy as that sounds.
Yeah, man. And the last one that we have, dude, main event, 5 rounds, December 9th, dude. So we will be talking about is this main event, dude? Yeah, headlines.
Yes.
Yeah. Shanghai, December 9th, dude. So yeah, dude. Chris Gutierrez taking on your guy, Song Yadong. Going to be an interesting fight, man. Early leans going Song Yadong, but dude, leg kicks can be an issue, dude. Which way you going here, man?
Yeah. I'm definitely leaning towards Song Yadong, but as you said, Chris Gutierrez with the leg kicks, them dudes over there at
Factory X.
What is the Factory X with Mark Montoya and them? Yeah, they're just absolutely nasty with those leg kicks, and it should be a really good fight. Leaning towards Song. Song's got good power, man, but yeah, Gutierrez is a live dog for sure.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And that's our last one, man. Do you have any anything you want to mention before we jump into picks and everything for this weekend?
No, man. I think we're pretty much caught up on everything, but I'm definitely excited for the card this weekend though.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm fired up, man.
I favor Alex, but he may be coming back too soon. Yeah, and I think that's an issue, dude. And he didn't get, just kind of like wobble, dude. He actually got knocked out with a head kick, dude. Like that's a lot of damage to take, and then going to take off 2 months, and then going to start training for a fight again. I don't know. We'll see what happens though. But with that being said, let's jump into what everyone's here for the most part. UFC 295, Jiri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira. Our breakdown, our predictions, our picks, any parlays we are going to be making this weekend, any props we are going to be looking out for, and any bets that we know we are going to be making or that we already have for this weekend. So with that being said, dude, let me share the screen for the card. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Dude, this thing.
So you've obviously been looking at it and have already made a bet or two then.
I already have a parlay, not gonna lie. Maybe not a lot of money, but yeah, it is what it is.
Hey, it doesn't matter. It's just getting started. That's all it is.
There's just sometimes, dude, you have to get the early lines. Like there's just like sometimes when I just see lines move too much, and I'm like, dude, I saw he was the underdog earlier in the week, and then now he's not. So, can't miss out on him.
Do it while you can.
Yeah, come on, you thing. Did I not click it? I think we're just taking a while today. That's what's happening. All right, here we go. We got Lush. Lush is ready, and he's got his pen and pad ready to go. We truly do appreciate you, Lush. You help out a ton, brother. So here we go. UFC 295, Procházka versus Pereira, happening Saturday, November the 11th. Prelims are going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern time. The early prelims, if you will. D-Rose, I guess you want to let people, I guess I kind of already told them, but you want to let people know what your plan is for this weekend after I go through this? Because I'm pretty much down for anything. If you want to watch the early prelims and on, or if you want to just do main, I don't know, dude. Well, we'll get into it, though. But anyway, this Saturday at Madison Square Garden, New York City, New York, we got 13 fights that we are going to be breaking down. And in the main event, we do have Jiri DNS Procházka taking on Alex Polton Pereira. And the co-main event, yeah, dude, screw that up, right? In the co-main event,
dude, Alex Procházka would be the most dangerous fighter in the world.
Dude, that is pure chaos right there. It's like someone just gotta like morph those two together, dude. With the antenna and the headdress, dude, that would just is scary.
Oh
And
my
face
gosh.
paint and the antenna. Oh goodness gracious, dude. Anyway, co-main event, we've got Sergey Pavlovich taking on Tom Aspinall. We've got Bacha Estaca, Jessica Andrade taking on Mackenzie Dern in the feature fight of the night. The steamroller, Matt Frivola, is going to be taking on Benoit Saint Denis, the God of War, in the people's main event of the night. And opening up the main card, we do have Pat Sabatini taking on Diego Lopes, the rising contender. A lot of people are fans of him. I'm definitely a fan of him. But the main event of the prelims is going to be Steve Erceg taking on Alessandro Costa. And, I'm excited for that fight, too. I do enjoy me some Alessandro Costa and Diego Lopes on the same card, dude. We've got, I guess everyone's the one everyone is split on for this week. We've got Tabitha Ricci going to be taking on Lupita Gonidez. We've got Matus Raumbeski taking on Roosevelt Roberts. Late notice replacement. This fight was just added, I think, yesterday, dude. So Roosevelt Roberts getting his shot back in the UFC after being on tough this last season. We do have someone else and another person that I am both fans of. And take note, dude, this is going to be a hard one for me to pick because I do like both fighters. We do have the Black Wolf or Nasty Naz, Nazim Sadyukov, taking on Slava Claus, Vyacheslav Borishev. Dude, these names today, I got to be on point. And then we've got Jared Flash Gordon taking on Mark O. Madsen, and the O is for Olympian, if you did not know that. We've got Kyung Ho Kang taking on Sexy Maxi, John Castaneda. And then we've got Josh Van taking on Kevin Borjas. And then opening fight of the card, we do have Dennis Bazooka taking on Jamal Emmers, dude. Canceled fights on this card were John Jones versus Stipe. Obviously, we were all looking forward to that. Derek Brunson versus Roman Dolidze was also on this card. I thought Derek Brunson got removed from the UFC. I guess that was a long time ago that was scheduled. We did have Matt Schnell versus Steve Erceg, but when does Matt Schnell not pull out of a fight? Who knows? And then Matus Raumbeski was going to fight Naruo Aliv on here. But So with that being said, D-Rose, what's your grade for the pay-per-view card as a whole, my guy?
It's definitely a banger, man, for sure. It sucks that unfortunately the John Jones and Stipe fight fell off. Not that I thought that Stipe could have.
Yeah, and then he corrected the shots, and then Austin said both are true lush.
Yeah, I was with Austin, dude. 100%, man. You miss 100% of them because you get all backed up, man. I mean, and that's why you miss it. But that's why you got to do it so you ain't backed up, So hey, I understood where you were coming from on both angles there.
Yeah. All right. And,
but overall, I was going to say overall grade of the card. Let's go B plus. I would say sucks that it lost the main event, but I do think the main card lacks the fights underneath the top two. I'm so excited for those top two that it's just like the rest of the card is very solid, but I do think it's a little top heavy in the same sense as well, though.
Dude, I'm personally excited for this card. I have to go at least an A here. A minus. I'm not gonna say it's A plus, but yeah, dude, I'm excited. I couldn't be more excited for this card. And Roosevelt Roberts is on short notice indeed. So with that being said, D-Rose, let the people know what we got planned for this weekend while I get the first fight pulled up here, brother.
Yeah, man, we're looking to come to y'all live from the illustrious Rose Podcast Studios here in the basement, and we're going to try to do a live stream. Just try to do a live stream throughout the pay-per-view. In terms of which fights we decide to, whether it be from the TV portion of the prelims or the early prelims, we're we'll still end up getting that chopped out. But as far as everything else, we plan on being here Saturday night, watching the fights with you guys. So come on by, check out the stream. Me and Matt hanging out. Watch us, see if we hit some of the bets that we make as well. We'll drop some bets in for y'all as well, and some of the live streams. Unfortunately, the last one, the card was not that great, so we didn't really get to have that much reaction. But the Abu Dhabi card we were able to do last year was a treat because it was a good card overall. We ended up getting a shout out reaction from Sean O'Malley on his video, so we ended up having a lot of fun on those types of streams. So y'all come on by and check it out.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited for it. So check us out Saturday. We'll be right here watching the fights with y'all. If y'all ain't got no one to watch the fights with, come by and say what's up, and we'll chat up and talk some fights with y'all. So up first fight of the night, we've got Dennis Bazooka going to be taking on Jamal Pretty Boy Emmers. Sorry, Emmys. What am I doing? We saw Dennis Bazooka last time against Sean Woodson, dude, in Nashville. I was actually at that fight, and dude, Dennis Bazooka runs forward and doesn't really stop going. Seems to have a gas tank for all 3 rounds. Tough for the most part, but he is going to be taking on Pretty Boy Jamal Emmers. That is a huge favorite this week. Let me get actual odds up for you, D-Rose. If you want to pull up your FanDuel, I'll get DraftKings pulled up. But Dennis Bazooka, 26 years old, 5'9" and a 70-inch reach, while Jamal Emmers is 34 years old, 5'10" and a 74-inch reach. Jamal Emmers 19-7 overall, kind of has a win-loss streak, win 1, lose 1. He's lost 3 of his last 5, while Dennis Bazooka is 11-3 and won 4 of his last 5. Only lost his last fight to the sniper Sean Woodson in Nashville. Currently, odds for this are plus 210 for Dennis Bazooka and Jamal Emmers at minus 258 favorite. D-Rose, I think early in the night, I might be leaning the dog, dude, because although Jamal Emmers kind of fights like Sean Woodson, that long style, he's not like 6'4" like Sean Woodson is down at 145. So I think there's a difference there. Also, he's only going to be an inch shorter than Jamal Emmers, but he's going to have a 4-inch reach disadvantage. So I think if he's able to get in close on Jamal Emmers, he's able to push him up against the fence, take him down, and work out a very grindy, ugly decision in MSG over the 3 rounds. Give me Dennis Bazooka to win a decision, ugly decision. Crowd's going to be booing in the first fight of the night, but he's got a lot of teammates. Nazim Sadikov fights on this card, and it is an MSG win. It's pretty much hometown, dude. So going to be where he trains at. Not going to be traveling or anything like that. Going to be the hometown guy for the most part. I think he gets it done as the dog. Plus 210. Which way you going this week here, brother?
Yeah, FanDuel has Dennis Bazooka as well as plus 210, having Jamal Emmers at minus 280 right now. So lines are kind of relatively the same, but you actually stole my thunder, man, because I thought you were definitely going to go Jamal Emmers here because I tend to like Dennis Bazooka here as well. Kind of hearing Ray Longo and Frivola and those guys in some interviews, they train together, and they're kind of they say that they're kind of in that fight peak, right before the fight comes, and they're all kind of in very good moods, and everybody's looking good and showing out, and yeah, man, I think Jamal Emmers, while he is a good fighter, as you see by his win-loss record, he is very up and down. I know the Jack Jenkins fight, some people argue that he won the fight, but I thought he had lost that fight, but I do think that I think Bazooka, as you said, the fight would go. Honestly, that's exactly how I think it happens as well. I think a lot of pressure, a lot of clinch, cage control, takedowns, just a lot of grinded out type of fight, and Bazooka gets the decision.
And I'll even like say this, dude. Like Jamal Emmers is probably the better skilled fighter overall. I just think that he makes dumb decisions, and he just hasn't beat anyone besides Hussein Ascabal, that's now locked up in a Thai prison, and Vince Cachero, that's not in the UFC, dude. He had a chance to beat Giga Chikadze, dude. He just didn't start trying to take him down until the end of the second round. So kind of an idiot there, and lost to Pat Sabatini, dude. And it's like he had the clear striking advantage on Pat Sabatini in that fight and kept going down into his like guard and like trying to wrestle him like and shit, dude. It was super weird. And obviously, as you said, in his like last fight, split decision. But I thought Jack Jenkins' leg kicks did plenty of damage. I thought Jack Jenkins would win that fight, dude. Yeah. So me and D-Rose both on the plus 200 or more dog this week in Dennis Bazooka. Kind of surprising, D-Rose. I thought you were probably going to go pretty boy Jamal Emmers as a big favorite in the first fight of the night, dude.
No, well, if you remember, I actually chose Dennis Bazooka in his last fight against Sean Woodson. So I do think that, Dennis Bazooka does have some skills, man. And he's got some power in his hands, too. He's got some ability, and I think he's got a chance to show out this weekend.
All right. So me and D-Rose both on Dennis Bazooka. Moving on up to the next one, we've got none other than Joshua the Fearless Van taking on Kevin Borjas. I'm not gonna say this because I don't. It is what it is. I don't want someone to clip it and bad things happen to your boy over here. But anyway. Josh Van is 8-1 overall, while Kevin Borjas is 9-1 overall. Currently, Joshua Van minus 218 favorite, while Kevin Borjas a plus 180 dog. Josh Van 8-1, won all 5 of his last 5. Kevin Borjas is 9-1, won 4 of his last 5, and then won 4 of his last 4. Joshua Van is 22 years old, 5'5" and a 65-inch reach, while Kevin Borjas is 25 years old, 5'5" and a 68-inch reach. So Kevin Borjas going to have about a 3-inch reach advantage, but same height for the most part. D-Rose, we saw Joshua Van come in short notice replacement against Zhalgas Zhumagulov in his last fight. Ended up beating him, and I think this is going to be Kevin Borjas' UFC debut. Yeah, we saw him on Contender Series, but haven't seen him in the UFC yet. So because of that, dude, you beat Zhalgas Zhumagulov. It was via decision, right? But I think it was, yes, split decision. But who doesn't go to split decision with Zhalgas, dude? He's got all those kids. He's got something to fight for, dude. Trying to win that money. I believe Josh Van, the only Myanmar UFC fighter. And yeah, dude, give me Josh Van to win this fight. I don't know how it's going to happen, dude. This might even be fight of the night, dude, because both these dudes got clean ass striking, dude. I think someone is either getting put out or we are getting fight of the night here. Which way you going, dude? I got Josh Van.
Yeah, I do remember. I remember Josh Van from that the Zhumagulov fight, because he kind of put it on Zhumagulov there a little bit. I know it was a split decision, but I thought it was as you said, it seems like all of Zhumagulov's fight ended up going to a split decision, but I thought it was a clear win for Josh Van. But I'm with you. I think Josh Van's able to get it done. And just so I can't remember Kevin Borjas' last the Contender Series fight. I remember it was from this past season.
If there's a person that I could compare him to the most, dude, and the chat can call me out if you want to, dude, go watch his fight on the Contender Series, dude. Tell me who has better hands, him or Adrian Yanez. I just want to know, dude. Dude's got really clean hands, dude. He's quick. He's fast. Dude, about on the Adrian Yanez level, to be honest, dude. That's how good dude's hands are. But I guess who was he fighting and Contender Series? We don't really know yet. So I don't want to say that's for sure yet until I see him in the UFC. But this is gonna be a banger, dude.
Yeah, it very well could be. But I'm going Joshua Van here.
All right, me and D-Rose both on Joshua Van this week. Up next, we do have Kyung Ho Kang taking on the Sexy Mexi, John Castaneda. I believe Kyung Ho Kang is Mr. Perfect. Yeah, indeed he is. Mr. Perfect, Kyung Ho Kang taking on the Sexy Mexi, John Castaneda, one of the dumbest nicknames in the UFC, but it is what it is. Mr. Perfect. Kang is 19-9. In his last fight, dude, got cracked against Christian Quinones and then dropped him and subbed him, right? Like, Christian Quinones was about to finish him and got overzealous. And then, just got mollywopped, dude. And I don't think Kyung Ho Kang ever been finished, to be honest. So that was kind of something that was like, oh shit, Christian Quinones has power, so we got to keep that in mind moving forward. But Sexy Mexi 20-6 overall. His last win was over Marine Gafarov, who is also rather good as well. Currently, odds for this are -135 for John Castaneda and a +114 for Kyung Ho Kang. Kyung Ho Kang, 36 years old, 5'9" and a 73-inch reach, while the Sexy Mexi, John Castaneda, is 31 years old, 5'6" and a 71-inch reach. D-Rose, I'm gonna let you go here first, man. Break it down.
I remember the Mr. Perfect and the Quinones fight because, as you said, Mr. Perfect, he had his back up against the wall, was getting absolutely lit up, and then had the ferocious comeback and was able to get the club and sub, as you famously like to note. Man, I think because that type of perseverance, man, you see Castaneda, he's a little more up and down in his career. Man, I think I want to go Mr. Perfect. I know he's not as active here, but I know good power, good resiliency, and hey, slight dog, right? Yeah, slight dog. Yeah, plus 120 right now. What I'm looking at on ESPN right now. But I think plus 124 for Kyung Ho Kang, where John Castaneda on FanDuel is -158. I think I like the slight dog here, man. Let's go Kyung Ho Kang.
All right, dude. We're gonna be the opposite here. I gotta go with the Sexy Mexi, even though he's got a stupid fight name. I just think he's got good wrestling and good submission attempts. If there's one thing that I wish that he would maybe take a little more time on, is his position over submission, because he kind of tries to jump on subs before they're locked in sometimes, and he kind of falls off. And I think that's where he loses from time to time. That's where he lost against fucking Willie Cap, because he had him in a few bad spots and he just ended up losing that fight. Subbed Miles Johns and knocked out Eddie Weiland, but that's Eddie Weiland. Lost decision to Nathaniel Wood, dude. Yeah, give me Nathaniel Wood to win this fight via decision against Kyung Ho Kang. Wrestling him, dude. Give me Sexy Mexi wrestling Kyung Ho Kang for a decision this weekend. And our first different pick of the night, dude. Next one, we've got Jared Flash Gordon taking on Mark O. Madsen, and the O is for Olympian in the famous words of Lil Wayne. We've got Jared Gordon is 19-6 overall. No contest in his last fight, and then win one, lost one. Marco Madsen, 12-1, undefeated. Besides, in his last fight, lost to Grant Dawson. But dude, he dropped Grant Dawson early in that fight. Current odds for this are -198 for Jared Gordon and a +164 for Mark O. Madsen, dude. Currently, Jared Gordon, 35 years old, 5'9" and a 68-inch reach, while Mark O. Madsen is 39 years old, 5'8" and a 72-inch reach. Personally, I think Marco Madsen's got way better wrestling here, and he's just going to do Marco Madsen things to Jared Gordon. Another one where I'm saying Marco Madsen be a super boring via wrestling decision for the most part. As the dog, too. I don't see why he's the dog here this week, but I'm going to be hopping on that. I'm for sure going to be having maybe even a straight bet on Marco Madsen to get it done here. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
I think Marco Madsen's definitely got the wrestling. I think Jared Gordon, he's got that gritty toughness. You remember when he ended up getting headbutted by Bobby Green and got knocked out, and then they tried to schedule him like a week and a half later against And then they were like, yeah, nothing happened, guys. So like, yeah, what are you talking about? And then like they just try to like sweep it under the rug. Like, yeah, those are good times in the UFC, you know. But yeah, you know what? To do it for different picks.
Dude, we got a lot of fights. Don't even do it like for different picks, because I know a few we're going to be different on up in the card, dude. So if you don't feel good about it, it's all right, man.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, let's go. Mark. We talked about it a little bit. We talked about it a little bit before. Yeah, let's go, Marco Madsen. I do think that Marco Madsen's wrestling and his pressure will eventually end up getting to Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon's a good wrestler too, and he's a pretty decent boxer. So if he can keep it on the feet, I do think that is Jared Gordon's fight to lose. But I think that Marco Madsen eventually gets it to the ground, and I think that's where he can take over.
He just has the power advantage and the wrestling advantage. So I think you got two of those, dude. I mean, you can end the fight at like any time for the most part. Austin said the O is for Osterine, which is a steroid, I believe. All right. Anyway, me and D-Rose both on.
Yeah, he did get busted for it, right?
I have no idea, dude.
Didn't he have like a suspension? Yeah.
No clue, dude. But I mean, he's 40, so
I thought he did.
Me and D-Rose both on the Olympian Marco Madsen. Next fight of the night, dude. I'm going to have a hard time picking here. We've got the Black Wolf, Nasty Nas, Nazim Sadikov, taking on Slava Claus. He'll deliver packages to your body, and his name is Vyacheslav Borshev. Nazim Sadikov 9-1 overall, while Slava Claus is 7-3 overall. Sadikov won all 5 of his last 5, while Slava Claus won 3 of his last 5. Losses to Mark Diakase and Mike Davis. Both pretty good fighters for the most part. Current odds for this fight are -122 for Nazim Sadikov and +102 for Vyacheslav Borshev. Nazim Sadikov, 29 years old, 5'10" and a 69-inch reach, while Vyacheslav Borshev is 31 years old, 5'11" and a 69-inch reach. D-Rose, I'm going to let you go here first again, brother. I'm going to let you break it down, man.
Yeah, I think this is a very underrated fight, just in terms of, you know, the potential of the banger that it could bring. I do think that, you know, as you said, Nasty Nas, I know that's one that Aljamain kind of goes by. That's the nickname that Aljamain gives him. And he kind of has that type of nasty fight style. You know, he's real gritty. He's got good power. You know, he's got good wrestling, obviously, and he's got good control when he does get top position. You know, and he's definitely a hammer for sure. And you know, Borshev, we know how nasty he is with those body shots that he gets. His boxing is absolutely clean, and he's gritty as well. I think the thing that Sadikov is going to have in the advantage for him is going to be in the wrestling. I think Borshev, I just think his takedown defense was kind of been his hindrance in his career. You know, we know the danger and the striking that he brings, but you know, in terms of when it comes to that wrestling, it just seems like you know, he has some answers here and there, and I know he was able to get the finish in his last fight. But yeah, I think if Nas is kind of able to weather the storm early from a lot of the big shots that Borshev brings, and is able to get the fight to the ground, I do think that it would be Nazim Sadikov's fight to lose. So if you ask me, I think Nasty Nas, I think he might even get a submission here. I'm leaning towards Nazim Sadikov here.
Fair enough, dude. And got to take a little pause from the super sticker from our guy there, Goofer. Appreciate you, brother. Here every single week, dropping your hard-earned dollars over here, brother. So thank you very much. Yeah, dude. I think what you said is overall true. I think he can get the takedown. I think he should get the takedown. I just don't know if he is, dude. Something about this fight tells me that these two are just going to stand in there and bang, dude. They're in New York. That's where Nazim trains with Sarah Longo, Weidman, that camp, dude. And going to be an MSG, dude. Is he going to go in there and try to throw down with Vyacheslav Barshov, dude? If so, dude, this is a 50-50 fight, and I understand the odds for the most part. However, at a minus 122 favorite, dude, if you understand the assignment against T-Rex, dude, outlast the first round, don't get fucking knocked out, and you know that he's got nothing left round 2, and you can go in for the kill there, dude. If he understands that game plan, I feel like he should be able to hone in on what he needs to do to get Vyacheslav Barshov out of there this week. Slava Claus. And, dude, I always pick Slava Claus, but I don't have a picture with Slava Claus like I have with Nasty Nas here. So I do have to go the Black Wolf, Nazim Sadikov. I got a picture with him in Nashville while Dennis Bazooka was fighting. He was pretty upset when he lost to the sniper Sean Woodson. I'm like fucking clapping behind, dude. He was like 3 seats like right in front of me too. It was just kind of odd because that was his boy. I didn't know that was his boy at the time. But it is what it is. Give me Black Wolf to defeat Nazim Sadikov. I don't know how he gets it done here, this dude. I also don't think Vyacheslav Barshov ever been finished either. So, keep that in mind as well. Could be a risky one if y'all are going to be playing Nazim Sadikov finish this week. But Nazim also tough, has a few third round knockouts, dude. So, dude, that's going to be an absolute banger and a fight I'm personally looking forward to this weekend.
It's a low key fight on the card that not a lot of people are talking about, but that fight could potentially be a banger.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm excited for it. Up next, we do have let me get it back up here. We do have Matus Raumbetsky taking on the short notice late replacement fighter, fresh off a tough, been in the UFC before, obviously, Roosevelt Roberts or Roe Roberts, the Predator Roberts, if that's what he wants to be called now. I don't think he has dreads anymore because he cut them off on tough, dude. Rabisti Matus Raumbetsky. That's his fight name now, dude. Raumbetsky is 18-1 overall. Roosevelt Roberts 12-3. Roosevelt Roberts won 2 of his last 5. Looks like he got a couple fights outside after tough, dude. Looks like he fought two times, won one time via knockout, and then fought again and then beat unanimous decision in Eagle FC, dude. So interesting, to be honest. No. So this was before tough. So he hasn't fought since tough, dude. Interesting, dude. I don't know what to think about this fight. Matus Raumbetsky is good overall. 5'7", 66-inch reach. Just the size difference here is going to be kind of like, what the hell? Roosevelt Roberts, 6'2" and a 73-inch reach, dude. But Matus Raumbetsky, good, got fantastic wrestling. His only knock that I can remember is him gassing in the third round against, who was it? I believe it was against Nick Fiore, dude. But I think he just ended up being too tough to get out of there. Like, he gassed himself out, beating the shit out of Nick Fiore, dude. I mean, so if that's the only thing bad to say about him, dude, I can't pick against him, and he is currently a minus 650 favorite. Holy shit. Roosevelt Roberts plus 470, dog. I won't be betting this fight, dude. I might even take a shot at Roosevelt Roberts to get a knockout because, he wants his spot back on the UFC roster. Yeah, I'm not going to be betting this fight at minus 650, but Matus Raumbetsky probably wins this fight via decision. Which way you going here, man?
Yeah, I'll go Matus Raumbetsky here too, and I think he can actually get a sub here. I think Roosevelt Roberts, he is prone to getting taken down and submitted. He has been a couple times before in the UFC. I think he could this time around too.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, me and D-Rose both on Matus Raumbetsky. I did not know odds were that far apart, dude. Like, if I would knew that far apart, I wouldn't have spent that much time on it to begin with. But one's odds that are not far apart at all, dude, and I've seen a lot of people make fantastic cases this week for why they think either one of these females, one of these ladies are going to be winning. I am personally a fan of both of these ladies, so I could make paths to victory for both of these girls here, D Rose. And it's going to be a tough one for me. But we do have Baby Shark, Tabitha Ricci, taking on Lupita. Lupi Godinez, Tabitha Ricci 9-1 overall. Lupita Godinez 11-3 overall. Both fighters will have won 4 out of their last 5. Currently, odds for this are Tabitha Ricci a plus 150 dog, while Lupi Godinez is a minus 180 favorite. Tabitha Ricci, 28 years old, 5'1" and a 61-inch reach, while Lupi Godinez is 30 years old, 5'2" and a 61-inch reach. D Rose, I'm gonna let you break it down first, man. Go for
it. Man, I figured where these are 2 of your favorites here that you would be prone to want to break it down. But man, I think for me, Lupita, man, she came out on fire against Elise Reed in her last fight. I mean, that was like the most pissed off that I'd kind of seen her fight, and that was kind of the most, honestly, the most probably complete performance I've really seen her kind of put together into the octagon to this point. Tabitha Ricci, she's coming in on a roll too. I remember I thought Jillian Robertson, I thought she was, a live dog. I thought Jillian Robertson was going to take her out, but she was able to get the win there and actually really kind of not dominate, but won 3 rounds pretty cleanly from Jillian Robertson there. She might have lost a round, but won the fight cleanly. But I do think that man, Lupi, she's got good power. I think that Tabitha Ricci, they call her Baby Shark for a reason. I think she's going to be a little bit smaller. Man, I just think that Lupi, I think she's going to be a little bit too much. A little bit more well-rounded. She's got power in her hands. She's got the submission ability. I think she's got a little bit more to bring to the table than Tabitha Ricci does as far as a more well-rounded game. I think Tabitha Ricci gets it done, or I'm sorry, Lupi Godinez gets it done. Tabitha Ricci's tough, man. So I'm gonna say Lupi by decision, but yeah, I think Lupi wins a pretty convincing decision.
Fair enough, dude. The reason I let you go first is because I was going to go the opposite of you either way, because I have points that both fighters can win here, and I'm not going to be too upset at it either way. Lush saying Ricci could be working on striking with Callum Walsh, and that is the Irish boxer. He's pretty solid. And Daniel stopping in here saying, "What's going on, everyone? We are just breaking down some fights, man." But yeah, dude, every time Lupi fights, what do I say? I'm like, if she wrestles, she's going to win this fight, dude. She's got fantastic wrestling, dude. I don't think she should do that here, to be honest, because I do think Tabitha Ricci is better off her back than a lot of people give her credit, and she's got really slick subs, dude. She can sweep easily too. So in this fight specifically, I think like the Lupi should keep it standing for the most part. But dude, I haven't seen Tabitha Ricci lose to anyone besides Manon Fuhrer. So that being said, I just think she's going to have the more solid game plan in here, do what she needs to do, stay on her feet, maybe take Lupi down, because how often have we seen Lupi off of her back? And Tabitha's got a strong blast double. She can get chicks down rather easily for the most part, control them. I don't know what Lupi looks like off of her back. So that being said, give me Baby Shark this week, Tabitha Ricci, to win this fight via decision, and me and D Rose will have 2 different picks on this card so far. What you think, D Rose?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's, as you said, I do think it's kind of like a coin flip type fight because, I mean, as they said too, Tabitha Ricci, she's working on her hands, maybe not necessarily with Callum Walsh, but she is, working her hands. I don't know if
she'd be working on her hands with Callum Walsh. She might be working on something else with Callum Walsh, but I don't know if it's her hands.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would say, anyway, yeah, it very close fight, but I am going to go. I'm going to go Lupi, but it's a very close fight.
Hell yeah, dude. Fair enough. Moving on. Next fight of the night, we do have semi UFC newcomer. Here, let me stop in here. I got popped in here. Love the card, man. Huge fan. Well, I appreciate you stopping by here, Shane Storm. We are just breaking down some fights tonight. Next fight of the night, we do have a relative UFC newcomer. Fought one time, but apparently UFC has been trying to get him into the UFC for a while. His name is Michael Scott. Steve Erceg, Astro Boy, if you will. He's going to be fighting Alessandro Costa this weekend. Steve Erceg is 10-1 overall, won all 5 of his last 5. Alessandro Costa 13-3 overall, and we saw him beat the shit out of Jimmy Flick in his last fight 4 months ago. And then before that, fought Amir Albazi, and although lost to Amir Albazi, gave Amir some tough run-ins. And dude, Amir Albazi's pretty fucking good, dude. Currently odds for this are -198 for Steve Erceg and +164 for Alessandro Nono Costa. Steve Erceg, 28 years old, 5'8", dude. He might be a little bit taller than that, though. Alessandro Costa, 27 years old, 5'4", and a 67-inch reach. We are going to have a tall, skinny, lanky body in Steve Erceg, fighting a jacked up brick house, 5'4" powerhouse with absolute power in Alessandro Costa, dude. Alessandro Costa has very, very good, and me and D-Rose both love these, the rib roasters, dude. He will tear your fucking body up, dude. And Steve Erceg is got that long body style that he can't cover up all of it, dude. And right now, dude, at a +164 dog, I got to go with my guy, Alessandro Costa. Which way you going here, man?
Yeah, I was gonna say something about you if you took a picture with him and then would go the other way. So yeah, I'm not surprised to see you go Costa here. So I was gonna hold it up against you. I was like, you got a picture with him. There's no way you can go against him here. But I and you do bring up some good reason why I do always go back to kind of like I boost him up kind of more for the performance that he had in the Albazi fight more than he did in the Jimmy Flick fight, because Jimmy Flick, we were kind of expecting Alessandro Costa to do that versus, him coming in and taking the fight against Amir Albazi on short notice and really giving Albazi kind of a good run there before getting knocked out there in the 3rd round. But yeah, I do think that, while Costa is talented, Steve Erceg, I did luckily call him to beat David Dvorak in his last fight, but I did think that I'm more kind of betted against that. I wasn't a believer in Dvorak, but I do think that Erceg did kind of show some stuff in that fight. Good striking. Whenever he was forced to get taken down to the ground, he was able to get up pretty quickly. But defended the takedowns pretty well for the most part. Got good kicks as well. So I thought his striking was pretty tight for the most part. I do think that Steve Erceg uses footwork, keeps Costa at range here. I think Steve Erceg gets it done here by decision. So yeah, I'll go Steve Erceg.
Dude, I just don't think you can win a fight against Alessandro Costa after managing a paper company all week. You just can't do it, dude. Nate Craig saying here, always root for fighters I got a picture with. Doesn't always mean I'll pick them to win. Just saying. Yeah, it is what it is. Personally, I just root for my favorite fighters either way. But I actually do think Alessandro Costa gets Steve Erceg some problems this weekend. He's got nasty leg kicks and those body shots, dude. And Steve Erceg is long. Watch out for the body shot this weekend for Alessandro Costa to get Steve Erceg out of there. It's going to be an interesting one. But up next, we do have Pat Sabatini taking on none other than everyone's favorite new UFC prospect at 145, the best haircut in the UFC. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, his name is Diego Lopes. Here we go, dude. Pat Sabatini taking on Diego Lopes. Pat Sabatini is 18-4 overall, while Diego Lopes is 22-6. Currently, odds for this are a +102 for Diego Lopes and -122 for Pat Sabatini. Looks like I'll be taking a dog here, but we do have Pat Sabatini, 33 years old, 5'8", and a 70-inch reach, while Diego Lopes is 28 years old, 5'11", and a 72-inch reach. And D-Rose, as you kind of mentioned earlier in the fight, I wasn't going to bring it up yet, but D-Rose already mentioned it. I do have a picture with both Diego Lopes and Alessandro Costa, so I do got to pick them. And y'all, I am roughly 6 foot tall, so you will see Diego Lopes is me and him are about the same size, and I walk around at roughly 180 pounds. I'm not the biggest guy in the world, but when I met Diego Lopes, I was like, holy shit, dude. This dude is huge for 145, dude. I mean, like we had like shoes on and shit like that. So depending on like shoes, and all that shit, he is a little bit fucking taller than me. But just the fact that it's like, damn, dude, if I had to fight this dude, I would be like, damn, I'm trying to go down to 135, dude, because he was a pretty big guy. And on the left side there is Alessandro Costa. So he doesn't really look like the biggest guy in the world, but also pretty shredded. His forearms were definitely much bigger than mine. I wouldn't want to get punched by him for the most part, but both pretty cool guys. They didn't speak any English at all, so it was kind of just like, thank you. They're like, yeah, and then they just get like fist bumps. But it was cool though, dude. I enjoyed grabbing a couple of pictures with fighters that I do actually enjoy fighting. Like I could have got a picture with Josh Frimm multiple times, dude, but I was like, if he sees me talk shit about him on the podcast at all, he's gonna be like, hey, aren't you that dude that talks a whole bunch of shit? So, dude, Josh Frimm was like the tallest UFC fighter that I ever seen, but I was like, dude, I don't want a picture with Josh Frimm. But yeah, dude, got to go with my guys, Alessandro Costa, Diego Lopes. They both train at Lobo MMA. They're both around each other all the time, as you saw in the picture, dude. They were right beside each other all the time. And dude, Diego Lopes, as I said, massive for 145. Pat Sabatini, you get front kicked by Damon Jackson, knocked out, dude. I just don't like it. And Diego Lopes is very good off of his back. So even if he is on his back, I don't think he'll be worried there. I just worried myself a little, just a tad bit worried that he might feel too comfortable there and maybe get wrestled just a little bit. But I'm hoping that don't happen. I'm hoping that we see a Diego Lopes submission. Give me Diego Lopes to win this fight via submission. D-Rose, which way are you going, man?
I know that Diego Lopes doesn't have the most potent striking either, but I know that is it Lopes?
Sorry.
Lopez? I don't know.
Lopes. So what he does is, this is what I've seen a whole lot of, like when he does fight. He'll throw out this like left hook that it's not hard, and it almost gets the dudes to come in like, oh shit, that didn't hurt. And he'll throw out the left hook and he'll clip them with it just enough to show them like, and then they get confident like, oh, that shit didn't hurt. And then he'll blast the right. And that's when he hurts the dude, is when he blasts the right, dude. So that's what I've noticed just a little bit. So watch out for the right straight from Diego Lopes. It's pretty powerful. Aside from that, you're right, not the best striking, but sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no, what I was going to say was not the best striking, but I will say that, even in Sabatini's last fight against, Lucas Almeida took that fight on short notice and was tagging Sabatini up pretty good there early on in that fight. I remember I actually had because Almeida was an underdog, I had a straight bet on him and needed him to come through, and he was landing some big shots on Sabatini early on, and I think that Diego Lopes is going to be the much bigger dude for where Sabatini wants to take the fight. He wants to take it to the ground. And I just think that, for Diego Lopes, his jiu-jitsu, we've already seen that it's absolutely legit. His sweeps are crazy. His submission attempts are just absolutely nuts. And I think that, him being the bigger guy, I think that's where he's going to invite the fight as well. And I do think that, as you said, I think Diego Lopes ends up taking control and winning. Is it a submission? I'm not quite sure, because I know Sabatini, he's going to be prepared to defend. And I don't think it's going to be as easy for Diego Lopes to get the submission, but I think he's going to be clearly the bigger guy, and I think that's where it's going to come into advantage for him in the grappling exchanges.
Does seeing the picture of us like beside each other influence like your decision at all? Because you know how big I am, and seeing that he is even bigger than I am, are you like, oh shit, that's a big guy for 145?
Oh no, I mean, it definitely makes me he looks like a big dude on TV, so it just absolutely confirms that he is as big as what he looks like on TV. But I do think at the same time that I'm not really that big of a believer in Pat Sabatini either. So, I think it's kind of a little bit to do with both. But
Okay.
yeah, definitely going. I'm going Diego Lips here.
All right, dude. I almost backed out of the wrong screen there. You almost got solo D Rose for for just a second, dude.
For about 30 seconds.
We've got another one, dude, that people are split on this week everywhere. And dude, I know we're pretty much just now getting started on the second fight of the main card, dude. But this is one that I'm excited to talk about, so I'm just ready for it. We do have the steamroller Matt Frevola taking on the God of War Benoit Saint Denis. Steamroller Matt Frevola 11-3 overall, while the God of War Benoit Saint Denis is 12-1 overall. Matt Frevola is currently a plus 185 dog, while Benoit Saint Denis is a minus 225 favorite. Matt Frevola, 33 years old, 5'9" and a 71-inch reach, while Benoit Saint Denis, 27 years old, 5'11" and a 73-inch reach, dude. I think what I'm personally waiting on for this fight the most, the Rose, is the stare down. Because if I've got to be honest, both these dudes' fight IQ aren't the best in the world. They're both just coming in there and they're ready to fucking throw, dude. I do think probably Matt Frevola has better grappling for the most part, but I just think Benoit Saint Denis is so big, so powerful that early, dude, he's a handful in the way he just blasts those fucking kicks, dude. It's like you're either going to get caught on him with your elbows and fucking forearms and they're going to get broken, or he's going to kick you in your ribs and he's going to break your fucking ribs, dude. But dude, Steamroller, you got to watch out for that power, dude. He was just those Sam Alvey fucking hooks, dude. They'll knock anyone out, dude. This is a fight I'm having trouble picking. I'm gonna let you go, D Rose. I'm probably gonna go Benoit Saint Denis just because been a little bit more active for the most part. But yeah, dude, I'm gonna let you break this down and make your pick first, brother.
Well, I know you kind of let us know which way you was leaning, and him training with Dennis Bazooka, Nazim Sadikov, Matt Frevola, and I heard an interview with Frevola earlier in the week. He had mentioned that where they're all getting into fight peak right around the same time, and a lot of times that's when the gym can rally around that energy and really come together. And a lot of times those guys end up having their best performances when they train together and peak together like that. I just think, Benoit Saint Denis, he's been a guy that, after that Aleski or Dos Santos fight that he took up at 170 on short notice. It seems like ever since he's been settled in at 155, man, he's been an absolute wrecking ball. Oh, man, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of going back and forth on this one, too, because I think the biggest thing for me in the matchup is with Benoit Saint Denis. He just barges forward, does get hit a little bit, and for Frevola, we know that he's got that game-ending power, as we've seen against Drew Dober. So, you play against that type of power, you're going to eventually get hurt. I just think that, if Benoit Saint Denis is going to be a little bit more calculated in terms of not stepping into the hooks, he's probably going to span those body kicks, span the head kicks, get the fight to the ground. And I think that's where, if he's able to use kind of his top pressure and his power, I really think Benoit Saint Denis can get the job done here. Oh, man. And the thing is, I say all that, and I'm like, dude, I'm doing it. I'm going the steamroller. I'm going the steamroller for Frevola, man. I'm big on Benoit Saint Denis too. I'm not going to lie, but
they're in New York, man. They're in New York, coming out to put on a show, dude. It wouldn't surprise me one single bit.
And they're all peaking, dude. That's what they've already said. I've already picked, Nazim Sadikov, and I picked Dennis Bazooka. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and ride the Sarah Longo hype train. The gravy train here, and we're gonna go steamroller for the underdog, baby. Let's go.
All right, dude. Yeah, I am going to go Benoit Saint Denis. Just because I saw him like on Contender Series, and I was a fan of him, and I think I may have picked against them one time, and I was like, all right, no more, dude. I'm never picking against them again. So I kind of have to pick them. And I just now saw this, and this is hilarious. Diego Lopez hair. Cause tonight will be the night that I fall for you over again. Yeah.
Name it right, baby.
Yeah, here we go. But yeah, dude, give me BSD, the God of War, Benoit Saint Denis, to defeat Matt Frevola, dude. I don't know how this happens, dude. This probably ends up being fucking fight of the night, or for sure one of the contenders for it. Agree?
Yeah, this one, as you said, kind of like the people's main event on that main card. I think a lot of people are looking forward to that one more than not the title fights, but that's probably the most look forward to fight on the card other than the top two.
All right, dude. And so we have here the featured fight of the night. Dude, this one makes me worried, to be honest. It is Bacha Estaca, Jessica Andrade, and she is going to be taking on Mackenzie Dern, dude. Is it popped up? There it is. All right, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. Jessica Andrade, that is an old picture of Jessica Andrade, but she is 24-12-0. Lost 3 of her last 5, while Mackenzie Dern is 13-3. Win 1, lose 1 over her past 5, but won 3 of her last 5 overall. Currently, Jessica Andrade a plus 170 underdog, and Mackenzie Dern a minus 205 favorite. Jessica Andrade, 32 years old, 5'1" and a 62-inch reach, while Mackenzie Dern, 30 years old, 5'4" and a 63-inch reach. D Rose, me and you were talking about this earlier, dude. If this fight was in February, dude, Jessica Andrade would be a minus 200 favorite. The odds would be literally flipped for this shit right now, dude. So much has changed since the beginning of the year. It just doesn't make a whole shit ton of sense. But at the same time, dude, Mackenzie Dern's striking isn't the best, and you play with Jessica Andrade hooks, dude, you're going to get fucking put out. And we've seen that over and over. So that's why I don't really understand this line too much. I bet Mackenzie Dern as an underdog. I don't bet Mackenzie Dern as a minus 200 favorite over Jessica Andrade. That being said, dude, give me Jessica Andrade to send back the surging Mackenzie Dern this weekend in one that I think a lot of people are going to be against me this week, dude. Everyone that I've heard talk about this fight has all picked Mackenzie Dern strictly because Jessica Andrade is ass now, dude. Jessica Andrade is still Jessica Andrade with fucking meat hooks that'll put most females out, no matter what the weight class is, dude. Yeah, dude, Mackenzie Dern can get cracked. Give me Jessica Andrade to knock out Mackenzie Dern this weekend. Which way you on, brother?
Ooh, that's a big one. And
it's Jessica Andrade. It's Bacha Estaca. She's the pile driver. It is what it is.
She is. I'm saying that because I know you're a Mackenzie Dern fan and one that you definitely pick her a lot in her fights. So I was surprised to see you actually. Yeah, I know, I get it. I guess the biggest thing for me, and I've noted it time and time again whenever we see Andrade fight, is that the activity, dude. She's just fought so much. I think isn't this her 5th fight this year? 4th, 5th?
Yeah. This is Andrade's 5th fight this year.
Yeah, 5th fight. So dude, that's just absolutely nuts to think that. Dude, she had that win at the beginning of the year against Lauren Murphy, beating her from pillar to post the way she did, and we were celebrating about how much of a great fighter she was, and now she's lost to Blanchfield, and I'm like, towards there because she's thicker than a snicker, my boy, thicker than frozen peanut butter.
Matt's favorite nickname is Bacha Estaca.
Bacha Estaca. It's a good one, but no, I think, and I've always been critical against Mackenzie Dern because I don't think her striking is that great, but I think that She really rounded out her game against Angela Hill in that last fight. That was really what I wanted to see because, as I noted earlier, for Jailton Almeida, what he didn't do, and when he got the top position against Derek Lewis, Mackenzie Dern against Angela Hill in that last fight really started to utilize ground and pound. And I think if she's going to be able to do that, we've seen Jessica Andrade get taken down a lot from time to time. She's smaller than a lot of these chicks, even though she's as strong as can be. There are times where she can positionally get taken advantage of, and I think that's something that Mackenzie Dern is going to be able to do. And she can use a lot as a ground and pound. So I think Mackenzie Dern gets a submission here. I think she gets her down, gets her in some ground and pound. I think Andrade gives up her back, and I think Dern gets a rear naked choke. So let's go Mackenzie Dern here.
All right, dude. Probably the first time that I've picked against Mackenzie Dern in the UFC.
It might be the first time that I picked Mackenzie Dern in the UFC.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, dude. I just think people are. This is Derek Lewis against pays out, dude. People need to remember what Jessica Andrade is capable of, dude. And I think she's gonna remind people this weekend. Co-main event time, dude. I am ready for this bad boy. We got the interim heavyweight championship, or if we're going to be real, dude, this is for the heavyweight championship. I don't think John fights again, and I don't think John fights Stipe at all, to be honest. Thoughts on that before we jump into it?
What's that? I had something.
I think this is probably for the actual heavyweight championship because I don't think John's going to end up fighting Stipe, and they're both just going to retire, and they're going to make this for the actual championship after a year of neither one of them fighting.
That's what it needs to be. It needs to just be the championship fight, and then Stipe and John, hey, whatever. But this one being an interim fight, then John and Stipe is going to fight later in the year for the title, and then whoever wins that is going to vacate, and then Sergey and Tom's going to become champ anyway. It just doesn't make sense to just make this the fight and get it over with.
Yeah. So this is pretty much between us. This is for the actual heavyweight championship of the world between the two best guys that I can think of. At least we do have Sergey Pavlovich, dude. I was watching. Was it the Countdown or Embedded earlier, dude? Sergey Pavlovich and Kayla Harrison have the same face, dude. If you put a wig on Sergey Pavlovich, he would look just like Kayla Harrison. I believe someone in their bloodline has strong genes that are the same. They are related somewhere down the line because at American Top Team, they were like beside each other, and I'm like, they could definitely be brother and sister, dude. It's kind of crazy if you just pull up two pictures of them right beside each other. But anyway, we got Sergey Pavlovich taking on Tom Aspinall. Sergey Pavlovich, 18-1 overall. Only loss was getting pounded out by Alistair Overeem in the first round. Tom Aspinall is 13-3 overall. The only loss I remember him having is breaking his knee against Curtis Blades. Do you remember his other two D-Rose? Or was that later before the UFC?
I believe it was before the UFC, yeah.
All right. That being said, currently odds for this are -102 for Sergey Pavlovich and -118 for Tom Aspinall. So pretty much about even for the most part. Sergey Pavlovich, 31 years old, 6'3" and an 84-inch reach, while Tom Aspinall is 30 years old, 6'5" and a 78-inch reach. I'm ready to see the stare down for this because I think a lot of people think that these are going to be about the same size. And I think Tom Aspinall are going to have a pretty solid height advantage over Sergey Pavlovich, dude. And to be honest, if we're doing who's the more athletic here, who's quicker, got the faster hands, I'm for sure going Tom Aspinall. Sergey Pavlovich does have that one-hitter quitter. The only thing we've seen since Francis that just crushing people in the first round, and they can't do anything about it for the most part. However, I have seen one person do something about it, and that was Alistair Overeem in his first fight in the UFC. Sergey Pavlovich, Alistair Overeem ended up hitting Sergey Pavlovich with his little trip. Sergey Pavlovich falls down and just doesn't get up, just gets blasted until he gives up. First round TKO, dude. And if there's a person that I think is capable of that in the heavyweight division, it is someone that we've seen do that over and over again, that exact style against everyone he fights. Tom Aspinall, dude, he comes out, blasts you with a few leg kicks, maybe a head kick, teep kick, maybe some knees and elbows down the middle, trips you, gets you down, and starts working for the subs. He did it against Andrei Arlovsky. He did it against Alexander Volkov. He just now blasted Marcin Tybura in his first fight back. That shit wasn't even close, to be honest. Dude, give me Tom Aspinall to submit Sergey Pavlovich in round 2. Which way you going here, man?
Yeah, I think this is, as you said, the true heavyweight title fight. And I think that, as far as the matchup, I think the betting lines just really kind of, really let us know what they think. I mean, they got, I'm on ESPN right now. D-Rose, Boys, Pavlovich, and Jim. I mean, you ain't got to tell everybody that, Jim Hart. I'm trying, I'm trying to keep it on the low. I don't want Pavlovich. I don't need his business getting out there. I don't want to try to ruin his week. He's got a big fight coming up ahead of him. But no, for the only thing with Sergey that always sticks out in my mind is where he ended up getting dominated by Overeem, and I know that was forever ago, and hell, that was 2018, I think that was. So I know it was a long time ago, but in the same sense, Curtis Blades, yes, like he's that type of fighter in terms of the wrestling, but just not the striking and the striking defense. Where I think the athleticism with Tom Aspinall, I think he can kind of dart in and out really quickly. But I think Tom Aspinall just has that overall game as well. The wrestling, the submission, the boxing. So I just think he has just a little bit of it all. Pavlovich is super dangerous, and he can literally have his back on one side of the octagon, and Aspinall can be on the other side of the octagon, and he will stretch that uppercut across the octagon with his mechanical arm and hit his ass with it and knock Tom Aspinall out. So as they're facing off from one another or standing across the octagon, he's got to look out for that uppercut first thing. Pavlovich doesn't even go for a glove touch. Literally just wing his uppercut from back against the fence, and he will land and hit Tom Aspinall if he can. But I do think that Aspinall uses his wrestling, and I think he ends up getting it to the ground. I think similar to how I think the Dern fight. I think get a little bit of ground and pound. Pavlovich ends up giving up position. I think he'll Aspinall either finishes it off with the ground and pound or finishes it off with the submission. But one thing I am going to guarantee, which I think a lot of people would have thought the same thing last week and would have had pie in their face, but not going to decision. Not going to decision. I will guarantee that this fight is not going to decision at all.
All right. So you're going Tom Aspinall, though?
Yeah, I'm going Tom Aspinall by decision. No.
There's just one thing that I do want to point out, because you said that Sergey Pavlovich was able to stop Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades likes to shoot double legs from a little bit far out, as where Tom will kind of clinch first, kind of go for the trips. He's a lot more of the trip takedown, a lot more of the blast double leg. One other thing that I do want to point out is Tom Aspinall is actually training with big heavyweights, big guys. As where you see Sergey Pavlovich training at ATT, name one heavyweight that trains at ATT, dude.
Sure.
I don't know any heavyweights at ATT, so who's pushing Sergey Pavlovich every day? Because in Countdown and the Embedded, he's just hitting mitts. That's all that he's doing. And wrestling a fat middleweight, maybe 6 foot max, dude. It's not the same. And I think Tom Aspinall going to be more prepared to move Sergey around, whereas I think Sergey might end up gassing. And we see Lush Maine. Also, Tom took this fight on 2 weeks' notice. He said he was hours away from vacation and got the call. Pavlovich has been training for the backup for Jones versus Stipe. Possibly. I don't know, dude. It's going to be a hell of a fight, and I'm excited. Me and D-Rose both on Tom Aspinall, but yeah, dude, it's going to be a hell of a fight, and it wouldn't surprise me either way if Tom Aspinall got knocked out or if Sergey Pavlovich ends up giving the old taparoonie at the end of the first or the second. So it is main event time. And if you guys haven't already, please do me and D-Rose a favor and hit that thumbs up button on this video because we would really appreciate that. And I think the YouTube algorithm requires that to show this to other people. So if you want to let other people listen to you boys over here, hit that thumbs up button, share it with everyone that may be interested in UFC fights or two degenerates talking about gambling on people fighting. You know, probably not the smartest thing in the world, but it is main event time, D-Rose, and it is a fight that I think the MMA world could not be more excited for, dude. Both fighters don't really say a whole lot. Neither fighter trash talks. But dude, it's just the silence and the chaos that both cause, dude. Like my girlfriend said earlier in the week, I don't know what to expect from this fight. And I said, I do. Sheer chaos. Like, no matter what happens in this shit, this fight is going to be an absolute wild fight. And that's partly because we do have Jiri Prochazka returning, dude. And if you've never seen Jiri Prochazka fight, just fuck it. Jiri Prochazka highlights in your computer, and you will be amazed at just what this guy does, dude. I believe this guy is on like a 23 fight win streak or something, D-Rose. And people can say that he don't have defense, but he don't need it. He uses his forehead and just blocks the punches, dude. Absorbs them, charges himself up to hit you harder with the power that he just absorbed. In some crazy way, that makes sense. He's charging up and punching you at the same time, dude. I love me some Jiri Prochazka, man. Yeah, dude. Let's jump into these. Let's jump into these stats real quick. We got BJP, Jiri Prochazka. That is 29-3, 29-3-1 overall, while Alex Pereira is 8-2 overall. Jiri Prochazka won all 5 of his last 5, while Alex Pereira won 4 of his last 5. Currently, odds for this are Jiri Prochazka plus 102, while Alex Pereira is minus 122. Jiri Prochazka, 31 years old, 6'3" and an 80-inch reach, while Alex Pereira is 36 years old, 6'4" and an 80-inch reach. So Alex Pereira going to have a height 1-inch height advantage on him. Reach going to be exactly the same, D-Rose. Where do I begin? I mean, I got my Jiri Prochazka shirt on, so let me get this. Got my Jiri Prochazka shirt on, so I don't think it's a secret which way I'm going to be going here this week. I got BJP, Dinessa, tree puncher, screaming at tree. We got Lush here. At the tree, looks at the trees and screams. Yeah, dude, I gotta go Jiri Prochazka, and there's one simple reason why, dude. Although Alex Pereira looks like he dies when it happens, he can make 185, dude. I don't think there's a chance on earth that Jiri Prochazka makes 185. So I just think he's a lot more suited for the weight class. And dude, just punching those punches with his head, dude. Just headbutts them shits like, boom, fuck your punch, dude. Eat this and this and this. And dude, if you're training with an eye patch on in the forest, dude, where things kill you and that's where you live, he has become one with the forest. He is in the forest with things that will kill you. Give me Jiri Prochazka to win this fight via 4th round submission, dude. 4th round submission, Jiri Prochazka going to choke out Alex Pereira. Yeah, dude. Jiri Prochazka.
Wow.
Which way you going, man?
By submission.
Dude, you act like he can't do it. He submitted Glover Teixeira in the 5th round. Has Glover ever been submitted before? And Jiri Prochazka did it, dude? And he didn't go out. He tapped, dude. He tapped.
Oh yeah, he 100%. Yeah, it was a tight grip too. And man, I'm so excited for this fight. I think this is the one that out of all the fights so far this year, this is the one that I will have to say I'm probably outside of my biases with with Izzy. This is the fight that I've been the most excited for this year so far, just with, just as far as stylistically how they match up. This matchup is just going to bring absolute chaos from both guys. We know how Alex fights just in terms of, his power, his striking, just the mean streak that he fights with versus Jiri. Have a more of that wild man, Tasmanian devil, if you will, type of style where he's just in there, just a straight tornado of chaos, just looking to take you out. So I love the clash of styles that they have. I think the biggest thing, for me is I think with Jiri, big puncher, good chin, but I always get on him about taking a lot of damage. But if you go back in a lot of his fights, in the UFC so far, or even, in some of the fights that he's had outside of the UFC, what was it, like CB Dalloway? I think he fought Muhammad Paul.
Yeah,
fucking Mo. A couple guys like that. So he's fought, Dominic Reyes. We could go down the list of guys that he's fought. Dangerous guys. Man, has he really fought anybody that has a dangerous leg kick? And that's just because the reason why I ask is because, Jiri has that lean forward kind of, very stalky type style where he is very heavy on his feet, man. And he's not very light on his feet. Alex is very bouncy, bouncing around a lot, in and out, not really, not a very still target for the most part, where I think Jiri is a very still target. I know he has a lot of head movement, leaving his hands down, but I think them legs are going to be wide open for Alex Pereira. I think that's where he can kind of take advantage. And even though Alex ended up getting knocked out by Izzy, man, those leg kicks are so dangerous. Dude, if you look in that second fight, dude, Alex was taking Izzy apart with those leg kicks. And I know that, Jan Blachowicz is just the greatest leg kick checker of all time. So, Izzy nor Alex's leg kicks could do anything to Jan. So, Jan Blachowicz is just a different animal. But I'm curious to see how those leg kicks are going to affect Jiri. And I am actually going to
unveil the Alex Pereira shirt.
Alex Pereira ended up getting the new gear. Ended up getting the Alex Pereira shirt to display because I think he gets it done, man. I do. I think he gets it done by knockout. I think Alex Pereira, again, I think those leg kicks are just a little too dangerous. I think he uses those to really set it up. Almost kind of similar to how he had Izzy against the fence before Izzy finished him. But I think Alex can get actually a finish off of something like that, throwing leg kicks, kind of a flurry to the fence, and landing one of those big left hooks and get Jiri out of there. Let's go, Alex Pereira. Let's go round 2 knockout.
Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. So that's another different pick this week, dude. I think we for sure have at least 3, so we might not have the 5, but it's all right.
I think we definitely got 5.
Andrew McDonald saying I was all in on Pereira, but now you have me thinking about doubting my pick. Well, hey, dude, the only place more dangerous to live than the forest is Australia, dude. They got spiders and snakes that'll fucking kill you. So, they
got spiders the size of dogs.
Yeah, right. So it's like the forest and Australia are like the 2 scariest places in the world to live. So, if you live in the forest, you're a dangerous man. And then we've got, I'm sure Pereira learned a lot from the Izzy knockout. Yeah. And I think he was just cutting a lot of weight going down to 185 too. Austin on D Rose, though, on the winning team this week. Hey, Austin, don't forget who has this and who has had this for a while. We just rolling, baby. I'm keeping this over here this week. It ain't going nowhere. And Jim Card Collecting also with Austin. All right, fair enough. And we got our guy, motherfucking Lush, Low Main in here helping us out. Dude, we have 6 different picks. You are correct. And a $10 donation. Lush really hooking it up with you, brother. I truly appreciate you, brother. You are the fucking man, dude. You guys pick different on 6 different fights, D-Rose. So we've got Kang versus Castaneda. We've got Ricci versus Godinez. We've got Steve Erceg versus Costa. We've got Steamrolla versus Benoit Saint Denis. We've got Andrade versus Dern. And we've got the main event, Jiri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira. You, the reigning and defending loser of the week, get to pick your 5 different fights that you would like for me to keep the pick champ on this week. My guy.
We gonna get that thing back this week. We gonna go.
How about this? Just pick the one that you don't want in there, because that'll be a lot easier.
Yeah, because that's basically what I was getting ready to do. And the 2 that I'm going back and forth with are the Favola and Saint Denis, and then the King and Castaneda fight. I'm just not as confident in King.
I think. Yeah,
I think that too. Yeah, I think that too. Yeah, let's just start that one out. King and Castaneda. Let's start those out, and let's keep the rest of them on there.
All right. So the ones that we will be picking on this week for my pick champ, I don't know if I'm going to bring it all the way across the state with me, because I'm sure I'm just going to keep it. So it'll just be here when I get back home for me. But I'll decide if I want to personally go rub it in D Rose's face. I still got the pick champ. But our 5 different picks this week are going to be Tabitha Ricci versus Lupe Godinez, where I am going Tabitha Ricci and D Rose is going Lupe Godinez. Our next different pick of the night is going to be Steve Erceg versus Alessandro Costa, and where D Rose is going Steve Erceg. And how can I go against my guy Alessandro Costa here, right there on the left? So I'm going with Alessandro Costa. And next different pick is Benoit Saint Denis, Steamroller Matt Favola. I think D Rose just accepting that he's not going to get that one right. He just picked against me just to do it there, where Benoit Saint Denis is probably going to crush Steamroller Matt Favola with some body and then arm kicks. But hey, don't count out Steamroller with that power, dude. He got that Sam Alvey power. You can't count him out. 4th different pick is going to be Andrade versus Darren, where I'm going, you must have forgot Jessica Andrade with that motherfucking power. Going to knock out Mackenzie Dern this weekend. Going to be sad, because I do like me some Mackenzie Dern, but give me Jessica Andrade to win that fight. D Rose is on Mackenzie Dern. And then last fight of the night, going to be the main event, Jiri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira, where I am going Jiri Prochazka. D Rose has got his shirt, and he is going Alex Pereira. So that being said, that's our different picks this week. And let's see here. D-Share has a perfect space for the bell on the side. They're just calling out your spot for you, D-Rose. And Lush Lemaine, change the chair this week. Indeed, Lush. I will be here Friday for change, Friday for, I almost said tomorrow for some reason, because I'm almost forgetting tomorrow exists, because I've just got so much shit going on tomorrow, because my girl wants to take me out for my birthday. We're gonna go see Theo Vaughn tomorrow night, D-Rose. So we'll have something to talk about when I come in there. So
we're gonna go see him. We're gonna go see him Friday. So that's dope.
Yeah, so we'll both know what we're talking about. So I'm going to go see Theo Vaughn tomorrow night, probably get some Mission barbecue, but I don't really eat pork like that, so I'm going to get some pulled chicken, I think, a pulled chicken sandwich. Going to be pretty good. I do enjoy me some Mission barbecue. And then Friday, I'll be here for Change of Cheddar. I was trying to get a guest for y'all, dude. I messaged 3 different people that kind of hard for me to do, because I don't really feel comfortable with reaching out to people and asking, like, hey, can you come on for this? I try to get a guest. It may or may not happen, but D-Rose, you're more than welcome to join me here for Change of Cheddar Friday if you want. But real quick, before we get out of here, man, I'll let you know my parlay I got right here. It is a plus 32,000. No, 320,262. It's a 12 leg. It does not have Roosevelt Roberts versus Mateusz Rambesky in here, because that fight wasn't announced yet. But it does start off like this: Dennis Bazooka at plus 230, Josh Van minus 265, John Castaneda minus 160, Marco Madsen plus 140, Nazim Sadikov minus 146, Tabitha Ricci plus 126, Steve Erceg minus 158, Diego Lopez plus 100. Benoit Saint Denis minus 220, Jessica Andrade plus 162, Tom Aspinall minus 120, and Jiri Prochazka at plus 108. D Rose, I made that bet number 6 at 1:15 p.m. So as crazy as it sounds, the way I was leaning then is actually the way I end up going on all the fights tonight too, for the most part. So nothing has changed so far. So we'll see if after weigh-ins and face-offs Friday, if we get any changes. But I'll be right back here for a change of cheddar on Friday, Lush. So don't miss it. Anyone else wants to stop by, feel free. Just gonna give you some of my bets and everything like that. I appreciate you, Gym Card Collecting, for the birthday wishes. I might pop on here tomorrow. What am I doing? I'm not gonna pop on here tomorrow. I have to do my card video this week is currently right here. So yeah, I just got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. Gonna be pretty busy. Yeah. So appreciate all y'all for stopping by here. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up on your way out. And remember, if you're betting on any fights this weekend, remember at the end of the day, it's a fist fight and anything can happen. Don't end up like me this past weekend wanting to liar, beat the shit out of myself for not cashing out. Hope you have a good birthday, Matt. Grateful you're only turning 31. When you wake up on Friday, you'll be 43. Oh, goodness. Got
That's
a
how
few
it feels.
years more. Yeah, got a few years. But that being said, appreciate all of y'all for stopping by here and like hanging out with us. We've been on here about 2 hours. Dorian, this was a fantastic card to break down, dude. We got through the first part of the show rather quick, but this last part of the show, making our picks and everything, it's been fun. So I'm just ready for it to happen, dude. I'll be traveling across the state Friday, hanging out with D Rose. I said Friday. I'll be traveling across the state Saturday morning, hanging out with D Rose, watching the fights. Yeah, dude, going to be a hell of a time. So all y'all, don't forget that. Come by Saturday, hang out with us, watch the fights with us. But yeah, D Rose, anything before we get out of here, man?
No, man. We should be good to go. Good pod, man. And can't wait for the fight opinion.
Hell yeah. Time is a bitch indeed. Yeah, dude. And just especially when you just have to do stuff like, for example, I'm excited to go hang out with D Rose fucking Saturday. I'm just not excited for it's like a 5.5 hour drive across the state of Virginia. Just one state. Just so it's like a whole day. But hey, I want to be there. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, y'all. We'll catch y'all Friday. If you want to see Change of Cheddar, UFC card video will also be Friday. And if you just want to watch some fights with us, catch us Saturday right back here. That being said, I am Matt. D Rose is on that side of your screen. And we will catch y'all later on. Have a good week. And we'll catch y'all this weekend. Peace.
Peace.